This is Marketplace, the first ever national ticket trap takedown.
They're just getting a cash grab, and it's happening day and day.
Undercover in the underground.
Underneath tourists to move locations.
Parking attendants caught ripping you off.
But you're not going to pay it.
No, oh, definitely not.
You can take this ticket and throw it in the garbage.
And high-tech ways to make you pay.
Possibly a city where you can't get away without paying for parking.
You can still do it, but I would tell you that is a hard game to play.
This is your Marketplace. With over 23 million cars on the road, more than ever before, parking enforcement has become big business. No national survey of parking tickets has ever been done. So Marketplace digs up data on more than 15 million tickets, most being made public for the first time. We crunched the numbers and come up with Canada's worst ticket traps. First up, Winnipeg, where our data shows they have the highest fines in the country.
See, there's a ticket there.
Brian McKay is taking us on a tour you won't want to miss.
You'd be able to tag the vehicle just because people didn't read the sign properly.
His job, handing out parking fines for the past 5 years. But this week he quit, fed up with people getting unfair tickets.
And I said, "Are you kidding me? You don't tag there, do you?"
He's going to reveal how you can get tricked into getting tagged with a pricey ticket. First stop, the Exchange District.
Here's a sign. Tells me for 2 hours I can park between 8 a.m. and 17:30 hours. So I can park here,
No, that'll get you a ticket.
but the sign says I can park there.
Yeah, but you'll be too close to the fire hydrant.
The bylaw says you have to be 3 meters from the fire hydrant, but both signs on either side say you can park in between. Confused yet? We sure are.
The signs are so close together that if you park 2 cars there, both of them are going to be in violation.
The data shows $23,000 in fines were given out last year in this spot alone.
This sounds like a bureaucrat's dream.
I got tired of it.
Brian also got tired of this next ticket trap, one of the worst he's ever seen.
Yeah, it's something I never issued any tickets for because I didn't believe it. It's just something I go, that's not fair.
Kasia Buckman doesn't think this spot's fair either. She works with youth in crisis. One day she's called to the health center, parks her car, pays for parking, and heads across the street. But when she comes back, before her time expires,
I had 5 minutes left, and I still got a ticket.
a $35 parking ticket, $70 if she doesn't pay within 15 days, for something surprising.
For parking within 3 meters of an unmarked crosswalk, which is definitely not a crosswalk.
That's it right behind you there.
Correct. And the sign,
Where is the crosswalk? I can't see it.
there is no crosswalk.
Can we go down there and have a look? And so you were parked right here.
I was actually parked a little bit farther, right over here, where the sign says that I could park.
And that sign says,
That you could park behind this sign.
see what happens when we cross. Nobody's stopping for us. What do you think?
It's not a crosswalk. It isn't at all. It used to be somebody's old driveway. They should just move the sign over the 3 meters.
Yeah.
And that would have saved everybody a lot of trouble.
Why don't they?
I think it's a cash grab. That's what basically it is. It's a cash grab.
In fact, our data shows this side of the street is the third most ticketed in the city. In just 1 year, over $96,000 in fines. Veteran defense lawyer John Weingus has spent part of his long career challenging the legality of parking tickets. At 86, he's still defending people in court.
Parking should be regulated, okay? It should not be used for the purpose of revenue.
The data shows here in the city of Toronto, $100 million in parking fines are given out every year. 247 tickets are issued every hour.
Or the city says that basically they issue these parking tickets to, quote, ensure safe traffic flow.
Oh, that's nonsense.
Why?
Because safe traffic flow has nothing to do with parking.
If I park in blocking a rush hour, that's got to be a traffic flow issue.
That's right. Well, rush hour that's a regulation. You cannot park during rush hour.
So it's just about gouging people, you think?
Well, they're gouging the motorist. Absolutely.
Oh, $100 million a year in revenue, nothing to sneeze at in this
That's
city.
right. And they're not going to give that up.
Toronto is not alone. Get this, our data tells us that Halifax has the cheapest fines, but Haligonians get more tickets per resident than anywhere else in Canada. Back in Winnipeg, the data reveals that ticket traps Brian shows us are also some of the most ticketed spots in the city. Like this third trap on Gary Street. Over $30,000 in fines were given out here last year. We catch Kim about to pay to park.
So can you park here?
I think I can, yeah. It looks like I can.
Shouldn't the signs tell you?
The sign should tell me.
So, what does this sign tell Kim?
This means I think there's no parking, but it's loading. And this means that I am good to park here for up to 2 hours.
Look behind you.
But there's a fire hydrant.
So where's the loading zone then?
Well, you can't load, technically.
It says you can.
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy? She may be onto something. Brian says he flagged these ticket traps to the city, including the infamous ghost crosswalk.
I said, this is kind of unfair. Maybe somebody should do a sign report and have it moved back because it's just something that's not right.
These drivers don't think it's right either. Today, they're out warning other motorists not to park here.
They've been handing them out for decades right there, and it's time that it ended.
So why won't the city fix its confusing signs? Armed with our list of ticket traps, I meet up with the Winnipeg Parking Authority's Manager of Compliance and Regulations, Ryan Arabsky.
We talked to a gentleman who recently resigned. He says despite his letting the parking authority know about these problems, nothing's done. Why is that?
Well, I might disagree with that. In 3 years, we've sent off 546 signage deficiencies to Public Works to address.
Tens of thousands of dollars every year the city rakes in revenue off that crosswalk. Why don't they change it?
As all signage issues that get brought to our attention, we will definitely look into it.
People call it a bait trap.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
No, I actually don't. There definitely might be areas where we issue more tickets, but that's because of the high demand and the convenience of that particular parking spot.
Well, apparently it's not too convenient for a lot of people who get tickets. You know, they park there. The sign is very clear. You can park up to the post, yet they still get tickets for this. I call it a ghost crosswalk.
Okay.
Is that fair? I mean,
no, it is a curb cutout, and it is definitely a walkway.
This isn't a revenue grab. You don't
This
think?
is not a revenue grab whatsoever. No.
But only a few weeks after our interview, a small victory for Winnipeg motorists. They do move that sign. Ammunition for Kash's next battle, which just happens to fall on her birthday.
I have a feeling you're not going to let this go, are you?
No, I will go to court on my birthday to fight this $35 ticket.
Need some help with your parking battle? We've got lots of ticket traps and tricks to reveal about your city on Facebook. Like in Vancouver, where $32 million in fines were handed out last year. And guess where one of the most ticketed spots is? Here, on the same block as a parking authority office. The parking wars heat up.
The way they conduct their business, we're gonna give you to a collections agency and then tow your car.
When not to pay that ticket. Sign up for our newsletter at cbc.ca/marketplace. The real deal on parking fines on your marketplace. We're on a stakeout in this underground parking garage in Mississauga, Ontario.
Oh, here he comes.
Investigating the big business of parking enforcement in Canada.
Andreas, do you want us to move locations to get more of them?
Is there something underhanded going on in the underground? We'll find out in a sec, but first. Rolitsa Shapova and her father Val Asinoff are parking mad. Val's a software engineer in Mississauga, Ontario. A couple of months ago, he has a job interview, so he parks his car in this Toronto parking lot and pays for parking till the end of the day to be safe. But when he comes out just an hour later...
I was so surprised to see this receipt stuck in here, and I say, what the hell, I already paid.
A $69.75 ticket for failing to display valid receipt. Val says he did display his receipt.
I did everything right. I have my receipt here.
But this ticket isn't from the city. It says Precise Park Link, a private parking company paid by the property owner to install and maintain the machines and patrol the lot.
Precise parking. I don't know what is precise.
It's not just cities after your parking dollars. Big private companies like Precise ParkLink are cashing in too, processing over $600 million a year in transactions. It's one of the largest in Canada. Why $69.75? Precise says that's the penalty per day if you don't purchase parking from the meter.
Current status.
Val emails them a photo of his paid receipt, but his dispute is denied. Why? Because he failed to pay their $10 disputing fee. Nothing on his ticket about a dispute fee. Then, Val starts getting letters threatening to send his ticket to collections. Val's daughter, Relitza, helps him out by giving Precise a call.
Parking violations, I'm help you.
He paid for a full day, $8, and now we're getting $69.75 for a parking ticket, which is ridiculous.
Okay. I'm looking at the photos that our patroller took, and there is no receipt on the dash.
We've never received such pictures.
Okay. If you'd like, I can send that to you right now.
Okay, that would be great. And what will happen if we don't pay it?
They'll go to collection agency, and then they have the authority to tow your vehicle.
To tow our vehicle. Do they even have authority to tow a car?
No way.
Relitza and Val wait to receive the email with the photos.
Is that your car?
Yeah. And ticket is exactly behind this ticket.
Val says look closely, and you can actually see the edge of his receipt displayed on the dashboard.
The way they conduct their business, we're going to give you to a collections agency and then tow your car. Well, you want to instill fear. That's not right. Imagine how many people do that. Like, if we're not the first ones that it's happened to.
She's right. We find complaint after complaint from across the country, including David Leo in Vancouver, who gets a letter out of the blue from Precise demanding $100 for a 3-year-old ticket he says he's never seen. They threatened to leave a mark on my credit rating unless I settle the ticket with them, he writes. We want to see how fair Precise ParkLink is at giving out tickets, so we stake out some of their lots. These Precise officers seem to be issuing tickets fairly. But at this underground lot in Mississauga, Ontario, watch as this Precise patrol officer, who we learn is also a supervisor, makes his way around the lot giving out multiple tickets. After he's gone, we check it out and see he's actually tagged 2 cars with a second ticket. Another Precise patrol officer has already tagged these cars earlier in the day, so now they each show $140. Twice the penalty Precise says they'll charge per day if you don't pay. Around the corner, the same Precise supervisor tags Yola Daly's car.
But it's not nice.
An unfair ticket because she did the right thing and registered her plate.
You come
and
down.
You tell you to park and you get a ticket.
But Yola's gonna fight back.
So you're not going to pay it?
No, oh, definitely not. No, definitely not. No.
We contact Precise ParkLink to talk about these and other unfair tickets they've issued, including Val's, but they decline our invitation to come on camera. So time to get help from parking ticket defender, lawyer John Weingust.
Nice meeting you. It would appear that this is not really a parking ticket, not a valid parking ticket. But what they're doing is trying to get a judgment against you without even going to court.
So the parking ticket alone is a judge and jury, basically, you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. This is what they do. They fool people by putting in a parking invoice, as they call it, okay? And they're entitled to do whatever they like. However, my respectful opinion is that you can take this ticket and throw it in the garbage.
How do you guys feel about that?
I can't wrap my mind around what they're doing, and so many people are falling for this.
So unless Precise ParkLink takes these guys to court...
It wouldn't pay them to do that, to go after each individual who hasn't paid their parking fine.
So all these private parking tickets floating around Canada right now,
yeah.
Are any of these private parking tickets enforceable?
No.
But can an unpaid private ticket still affect your credit rating? Equifax Canada tells us it does not accept parking ticket fines from collection agencies. And some good news for Yola. Her ticket's now been voided. So, next time you get an unfair private parking ticket, you'll know what to do. It's man versus the machine.
How long were you stopped for?
I don't even think it would have been 8 seconds.
Spy cars coming to a street near you. Got a story you think we should investigate? Email us at marketplace@cbc.ca. The Ticket Trap takedown continues on your marketplace. For the first time ever, Marketplace is crunching the data. Millions of parking tickets across Canada when something different about Calgary catches our eye. Could this be the future of parking enforcement in Canada? Photo enforcement vehicles like this one are now being used to catch parking violators. Camera cars driving around taking pictures of every parked vehicle and its license plate.
There's the start of a zone here.
Park Plus patrol officer Josh Sondergaard used to only give out tickets on foot.
Car can go faster than anyone can walk, so it's much quicker, much more efficient.
How efficient? According to the data, Calgary's 6 camera cars help give out more than 91,000 parking fines a year. There's no escape. If you haven't paid for parking in Calgary, they'll likely know about it.
Are people a bit more cautious now when they come downtown?
People are very much aware that we're here, so there's fairly good compliance down here.
At the end of every shift, officers bring their vehicles here, plug them in, and all those photos get uploaded into the Parking Authority's database. These workers are checking those photos to see if payment was made. Hundreds of tickets are then printed out every morning and mailed out to unsuspecting motorists. Nancy Chason is a Park Plus enforcement supervisor.
What we're looking for is payment. We want to make sure that the time we scan this vehicle, that there's payment that's going to cover that time frame.
What does it look like in this one?
This customer has paid from 10:27 until 14:27. We took their photo twice. We took it at 14:43, and we took it again at 15:01. So we allow you time to get to the pay machines or activate your cell phone account. However, this one is quite far out. It's approximately 20 minutes. So at that point, we're going to issue a parking ticket and move on to the next one.
Forget the days when you could talk your way out of a ticket. And there's chatter about that. This man complains he gets a ticket pulling over to make a phone call, car still running. I felt like I was doing the right thing, he writes.
We've heard stories about people pulling over to make a phone call. A camera car drives by and they get a ticket.
Well, the bylaw requires once you park your car in a Park Plus zone or a payment required zone, you are required to make payment.
It's as simple as that.
Simple as that.
Just like the time Steve pulls over on this downtown street to pick up his wife.
And as I pulled in, the Park Plus vehicle, camera vehicle, was right behind me.
How long were you stopped for?
I don't even think it would have been 8 seconds. It was a very short period of time.
A couple of weeks later, he gets a $40 ticket in the mail, $75 if he doesn't pay within 30 days.
Takes the objectivity out of a parking enforcement agent's job. They have a lot of discretion built into what they do. And when you're just taking pictures of people's license plates, I don't feel like you're ever getting the full story in a 1-second glimpse.
I head to City Hall to put that to Calgary's mayor, Nahid Nenshi.
The number of people I've had call me in 6 years in this job saying that, you know, I was pulled over or I was dropping someone off and I got a ticket, I can count on one hand. And that's out of hundreds of thousands of violations. So
Would you honestly
it just doesn't
expect
happen.
someone to call the mayor's office over a phone?
Oh, they call me about everything. Try being the mayor. I know about skunks, I know about dogs, poop from the neighbor.
People stopping to drop someone off, do we really expect them to pay for 8 seconds of...
No, of course not. That is the one challenge, but usually those are really easy to contest.
Not so easy for Steve. When he calls Park Plus to dispute his ticket,
He said, well, there's no difference between stopping and parking in our eyes.
Steve's told he can't contest it and will have to take it to court. He pays the fine, feeling it's not worth the cost of missing a day's work. Nearly $7 million in fines were issued last year with the help of the camera cars. So now more cities are realizing the benefits. Edmonton, Saskatoon, Whistler, Waterloo, Ontario, and Westmount, Quebec are all starting to use them too. But while Canada may be expanding, the UK has actually banned the use of camera cars for parking enforcement, calling them a clear abuse of CCTV, which should be used to catch criminals and not as a cash cow.
The UK is getting rid of this technology. Why is Calgary embracing it?
It's a bit odd that they would say, I can take a picture of every single thing you do. I know where you walk, I know where you go, I know where you eat, I know where you use a public washroom, but I don't know your license plate number.
But they use it to catch muggers, terrorism, national security issues. You're using it to catch people who may not have fed the meter.
Precisely.
A big difference.
That is exactly right. We're using it to catch people who didn't feed the meter.
This is more than just compliance. It's also a business model, isn't it?
The selling it is absolutely a business model, and I would love to be able to make some real revenue off of licensing this into new cities in China, for example. In terms of the actual tickets, I much prefer to get the money from people paying for the parking.
Are municipalities like Calgary addicted to this revenue, though?
We're not addicted to it, but it is a helpful way of keeping property taxes down. It cements Calgary's reputation as an innovative city, as a city of high technology, and as a city that is focused on citizen services. And frankly, that is the incredibly positive feedback I've gotten from it everywhere we've tested it.
And possibly a city where you can't get away without paying for parking.
You can still do it, but I would tell you that is a hard game to play.
Steve doesn't think he's lost just yet. Now when he needs just to pull over for a minute or two, he's going low-tech to avoid a high-tech ticket trap.
Next week on Marketplace, are you ready for this trip?
Never would have imagined that I would be smoking marijuana on national TV.
Not your dad's pot.
The stuff that we're using today, which is readily available and used by many people, is
much stronger. We're about to legalize a substance that we just do not have enough data on.
What's in today's super weed?
After smoking that kind of marijuana, the psychosis would come on immediately.